I think this is somewhat a shizzy's hitting the fizzy situation in the Philippines. Hi, everyone. Because, yeah, we've had that strong earthquake that just hit, but something else happened in a church, which, when you're superstitious, or even if you're not, it's kind of strange that this happened. And all this happened, this earthquake that was widely felt, happened after just yesterday three volcanoes erupted. I mean, I have reported about the Mayon volcano, which was absolutely crazy, like a lava collapse that was running down there. I mean, the images are absolutely insane. You should watch that video. I'll put it in the end screen. But now the images that we're getting from that earthquake in the Philippines, I mean, it's not a surprise, right? Pacific Ring of Fire. We do have volcanoes. We do have earthquakes there. We do have a lot of volcanoes there. But the cross at the San Pedro Calungsod, I'm sorry, parish church was damaged and it fell down. And it's not a small cross, it's quite a heavy cross with a Jesus statue on it, and it fell down. So it makes you think a little bit, yep, what does that mean? So magnitude, some had it 6.6, 6.1, 6.0, so something like that. I think it's still being determined. Earthquake in Brugui, San Eduardo, Oras in eastern Samar in the Philippines. So you've seen the video of the cross. I want to show you another video. The animals, they felt it. Unfortunately, that video doesn't have a sound, but it seems, I mean, the earthquake made probably a loud bang before it started to shake, so the dogs maybe heard that, and then the shaking started, right? Wouldn't it be great if they would have alerted people a little bit earlier, because it's always said dogs feel it. I've seen my dogs before an earthquake. I mean, not such a strong one, just a 4.5. I've seen my horses. The horses, I mean, the earthquake had a loud bang. They just lifted their head, grazing, looked, and then grazed again. So it didn't bother them. But yeah, the image is here. So what is happening in the Philippines? Is this a foreshock? Is there something bigger happening? Because on that side of the Pacific Ring of Fire, we had 3 magnitude 7 plus earthquakes just recently, right? I have reported about this. So the timing of this earthquake is, of course, that what makes it so interesting, because it happens right after yesterday. Mayon volcano has produced this dangerous ash event. The Catbalogan volcano emitted ash again, and Merapi volcano in Indonesia continues its eruption with hot rock falls and pyroclastic activity. So tonight in the Philippines, people are asking the same question. Are they being hit by one connected volcanic and earthquake event, or are we looking at several dangerous systems reacting just inside the same Pacific Ring of Fire? And the answer is very important, because this earthquake definitely was not random. It struck near eastern Samar, that's the central Philippines, near one of the most powerful tectonic zones in the country. This is the area where the Philippine Sea plate is pushing towards the Philippines, and it's diving down into the earth along the Philippine Trench. So subduction zones. Subduction zones are always dangerous, right? So subduction is the engine also behind some of the strongest earthquakes and the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth, and mostly around that Pacific Ring of Fire. So when this quake here just struck near San Julian in eastern Samar, it happened in one of the most geologically active places on the entire planet. Reported magnitude around 6, around 6.1, something like that. USGS has reported the depth at about 73 kilometers or 45 miles. Depth also matters because it does not look like a shallow little surface crack underneath just one town. If we're dealing with a quake that is 73 kilometers deep, it's much more likely to be connected to that deeper subduction system, the slab of the oceanic plate that is being forced downwards under the Philippines. So the ocean floor east of the Philippines is basically being pushed under the islands. It's bending, it's breaking, it's locking and loading, and it slips. And when that stored stress then finally releases, that's when we see the ground shake. So that is why, unfortunately, the Philippines have so many earthquakes, right? It sits inside the Pacific Ring of Fire. If you have a larger one, you could have a tsunami as well, right? Pacific Ring of Fire. Japan is on it. Japan had a bigger one. Indonesia is on it. Philippines are on it. Tonga is on it. 7.6 we just had, right? Indonesia, we just had a magnitude 7 plus. Chile is on it. Alaska is on it. West coast of Canada, of the US is on it. Cascadia subduction zone, right? So when we say Pacific Ring of Fire, that's exactly what we mean. It's not one single fault. It's basically a massive chain of plate boundaries where the crust of the earth is constantly, we have to say, being destroyed, recycled, crushed, and rebuilt. And the Philippines is right in the middle of that chaos. To the east, you have the Philippine Trench. To the west, you have other subduction zones like the Manila Trench and the Negros Trench. So, and then cutting right through the islands, you also have the Philippine Fault Zone. That's a major strike slip fault system, like the San Andreas Fault, for example, right? So they have that too, basically where parts of the country are sliding past each other. We've seen that in Myanmar last year. So this country, unfortunately, is squeezed from multiple directions, and that's why it gets both earthquakes and volcanoes. So now you want to ask, I know you guys, you do, what fault caused this quake? So if we look at the coordinates based on the location near eastern Samar, and if we look at the depth, the most likely system involved is the Philippine Trench subduction zone. Not necessarily one small named like surface fault in the area, but like the deeper plate boundary system where the Philippine Sea plate is being forced under the Philippine mobile belt. So the officials have previously linked earthquakes in that area, in the eastern Samar area, along the Philippine Trench and the subduction of the Philippine Sea plate. So this quake is most likely tectonic. It is plate movement. It's not a volcanic earthquake that is connected with Mayon or Canlaon. And that distinction, guys, is really important because we do not want to spread theories that are just not right? But of course, I want to talk about the volcanoes. I'll give you a quick update and where it is. Mayon is roughly 250 kilometers or 155 miles away from the eastern Samar quake that just happened, right? Mayon is in Albany province on the Luzon island, and it's the most active volcano in the Philippines. And yeah, over the weekend, more than 300 families, over 3,000 people were evacuated after the ashfall from Mayon that was caused by that violent collapse of lava deposit on the deposits, I have to say plural, on the slopes of Mayon. And officials are telling us there was no explosive eruption at that moment. But if you look at those ash clouds and the ash rain, and lots of livestock has been ended because of that, crops and field destroyed, villages buried in ash, it looks quite end of days scenario, right? That was a pyroclastic flow. Hot rocks, ash, and gas moved down the volcano, and the ash has spread over 87 villages in 3 town areas, and that is serious because pyroclastic flows are one of the, we have to say, deadliest volcano hazards on Earth, way faster than lava. So they are not smoke. I want to say that they are not normal dust. They are hot avalanches of gas, ash, and volcanic rock. And right now, Mayon still remains under alert level 3. Authorities continue to warn people to stay out of that 6-kilometer or the 3.7 mile danger zone because we could see something bigger or something repeated. So Now, the Samar earthquake, is it related to Mayon? Probably not directly. Mayon was already active before this earthquake, so the danger at Mayon is coming from magma, lava deposits, collapse, ash, pyroclastic flow on its own volcanic system that it has, right? But both Mayon and this earthquake, they do exist because the Philippines sit in this huge subduction environment, right? But still, it's like if we have a large subduction earthquake, it might trigger a volcano, right? But not the other way around. So, same tectonic region, same ring of fire, but no proof of direct triggering. Second, the Canlaon volcano. Canlaon is on Negros Island, roughly 295 kilometers, 183 miles from the eastern Samar quake area. And Canlaon has also produced ash emissions. Grayish plumes rose up to 700 meters, 2,300 feet. Multiple ash emissions and volcanic earthquakes have been recorded in the previous 24 hours, but volcanic earthquakes. Canlaon, also part of the Philippine volcanic system, but it's not sitting right beside today's epicenter. So this quake is not automatically related to Canlaon. Canlaon has already been restless, right? What about Merapi in Indonesia? Merapi is farther away, roughly 2,700 kilometers. That's 1,685 miles from this earthquake. So Merapi is one of Indonesia's most dangerous volcanoes, and the eruption there has continued. So they report an ongoing eruption activity at Merapi, including hot rock falls traveling up to 1,900 meters, like 1.2 miles up in the air, and or out of the volcano, as far spreading around the volcano. We have many seismically detected rock falls and pyroclastic density current activity. Also, alert level remaining at level 3, standby for more, basically. But Merapi, way too far away for today's earthquake, right? Absolutely separate. Philippines and Indonesia both are sitting at subduction zones. That's the thing. So earthquake, volcanic eruptions, that's their daily thing. We're dealing with two of the most dangerous geological zones on the planet. So officials are warning us aftershocks for the eastern Samar area. So right now we have no damage reports, no tsunami warning right now, because this was more on land. If we have another offshore event there, we might get one. And we have to just wait and see, and I'll keep you updated, guys. But check on, if you haven't seen it, what's going on Mayon. Really crazy. So thanks for watching, guys. I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.